The restaurant was buzzing with the clinking of glasses and the low murmur of conversations, but at the corner table by the window, he sat alone. Adrian Blackwood, one of the youngest self-made millionaires in the city, CEO of a vast tech empire. People admired him for his brilliance, envied his wealth, and feared his cold reputation. But right now, with a glass of untouched whiskey in his hand and a heart aching from loneliness, he looked nothing like the titan of industry the world saw. He had everything money could buy, but not a single person waiting for him at home. Success had cost him family, friendships, and any chance at love. He was about to signal for the check when a tiny, trembling voice broke through the noise. "Excuse me, sir." Adrian looked down and saw a little girl, no older than 7, clutching a crumpled bill in her hand. Her eyes were wide, brave but nervous, like someone about to ask for the impossible. "Yes?" Adrian asked, his voice rough from disuse. She held out the money with both hands. "Here's $50, I just need a dad for one day." The entire world seemed to freeze. Adrian blinked, unsure if he heard correctly. What did you say?" The little girl pushed the bill closer, as though afraid he would walk away. "My daddy's gone. Tomorrow is the father-daughter day at school. Everyone else will have someone. I just need one day. Please, you don't even have to like me. Just pretend." Her lips trembled, but she kept her chin high, determined not to cry. Something cracked inside Adrian's chest. He could have brushed her off, given her money, called a waiter to help. But he didn't. For reasons he couldn't explain, he asked softly, "Where's your mom?" "She works double shifts. She can't come." And she said, "Maybe some things just aren't for us. But I don't want to believe that." Her words pierced deeper than any boardroom betrayal or failed deal ever had. Adrian stared at the crumpled bill in her hand, the most genuine offer he'd ever received in his life. Not for his money, not for his status. Just for a day of being wanted. "I don't need your money," he said quietly. "But if you'll have me, I'll be your dad tomorrow." The little girl's eyes lit up, brighter than any chandelier in the restaurant. The next morning, Adrian found himself standing awkwardly in the school gymnasium. The air was filled with laughter, squeals, and the sound of sneakers squeaking against the polished floor. Everywhere he looked, fathers and daughters played games, braided hair, or simply laughed together. And for the first time in years, Adrian felt wildly out of place. Beside him, the little girl, whose name was Lily, beamed with pride. She held his hand like it was the most natural thing in the world, pulling him toward activities he hadn't done since childhood. Egg and spoon races, crafts, silly dances. He stumbled, fumbled, and nearly embarrassed himself more than once, but Lily never laughed at him, she laughed with him. At one point, she leaned against him, whispering, "You're actually good at this, Dad." The word hit him like a lightning strike. He hadn't been called that before. He'd never even imagined it. But in that moment, it felt right. Later, as the event wound down, Adrian watched Lily with other kids. She was radiant, no longer the girl who looked left out. She had a dad by her side, even if just borrowed. But the illusion shattered when a group of fathers began whispering nearby. "Isn't that Adrian Blackwood, the CEO? What's he doing here? Publicity stunt, maybe. Can't imagine him actually caring about a kid." The words stung, not because they weren't used to being cynical, but because Lily heard them. Her face fell. She tugged at his sleeve. "Is it true? Are you just pretending?" Adrian crouched down to her level, looking her straight in the eyes. "No, I promised to be here for you today, and I meant it. This isn't a game to me, Lily." She searched his face, and slowly, her smile returned. "Okay, I believe you." For the first time in years, Adrian realized, someone trusted him not for his power, but simply for his presence. After the event, Adrian insisted on walking Lily home. Her apartment was small, tucked in a worn-down building with peeling paint and creaky stairs. But inside, it was warm, decorated with drawings and handmade crafts. A woman in her early 30s, exhausted yet beautiful in her resilience, greeted them at the door. "Mom, this is Mr. Blackwood, he was my dad for today. Lily exclaimed. Her mother froze. Wait, the Adrian Blackwood, the CEO, she turned sharply to her daughter. Lily, you can't just bother people like that. She didn't bother me, Adrian interrupted, his voice steady. She gave me a gift. She let me be part of something real. The mother softened slightly but remained guarded. Look, Mr. Blackwood, I appreciate your kindness, but we don't need charity. We get by. Adrian hesitated. He'd never struggled to offer what money could solve, but he realized this wasn't about money. It was about dignity, about love. He nodded respectfully. I understand, but if you'll allow it, I'd like to be around. As a friend. For Lily. The mother studied him for a long moment, then finally gave a reluctant smile. We'll see. Days turned into weeks. Adrian kept his promise. He showed up, at soccer games, at school plays, even for bedtime stories when Lily begged. Slowly, the walls around his own heart began to crumble. For the first time, he laughed without calculating, listened without judging, cared without expecting anything in return. But challenges soon came knocking. Reporters sniffed out the story. Paparazzi followed them, cameras flashing. Headlines screamed, billionaire CEO playing house, PR move or midlife crisis. At work, his board of directors questioned his focus. Adrian, you're risking our reputation. Attach yourself to this girl, and it could blow up in our faces. He almost wavered, almost. But then Lily looked up at him one evening, holding the drawing she'd made, him, her, and her mom, smiling together under a big yellow sun. You look happy in this picture, she said softly. Happier than when you're in those magazines. And he realized, no boardroom, no headline, no fortune could compare to this feeling. The hardest challenge came one stormy night. Lily's mother fell seriously ill, collapsing from exhaustion after another double shift. Adrian rushed her to the hospital, staying by Lily's side the entire time. The doctors said she needed rest, treatment, and time off work, or her health would deteriorate. Her mother panicked. I can't afford that. If I don't work, who pays the bills? Who takes care of Lily? Adrian reached for her hand. Let me help. Not because I pity you. Because I want to. Because you both gave me back my life. Tears filled her eyes, but she finally nodded. And for the first time, Adrian didn't feel like he was throwing money at a problem. He felt like he was investing in family. Months later, Adrian was no longer the lonely CEO dining alone in the corner. He was often spotted at the park, playing catch with Lily, or helping her mom carry groceries. The city still whispered, some still doubted, but Adrian didn't care. One evening, as the sun set over the skyline, Lily crawled onto his lap, clutching her now faded $50 bill. I saved it, she said proudly. Because you never took it. And now, I don't need to buy a dad anymore. I already have one. Adrian's throat tightened. He hugged her close, whispering, you'll never have to pay for love, Lily. Not ever again. Her mother, standing nearby, smiled through tears. And for the first time in decades, Adrian realized he was richer than he had ever been. Message. Love cannot be bought, yet it is the most priceless treasure we can give or receive. Sometimes, what we need most isn't success, fame, or wealth, but the courage to open our hearts to connection, even when it comes from the most unexpected places.